Are your sugar cravings out of control? It might not be for reasons that you think. I'm Stephanie, aka the Healthy Practitioner, board-certified family nurse practitioner. I've helped thousands of women balance their hormones, increase their energy, increase their mood, and help them get to a better state of being. Today, we're going to talk about sugar cravings and maybe some things that you haven't thought about on reasons why. So first, why do we crave sugar? So sugar triggers a release of dopamine in the body. Dopamine is a feel-good neurotransmitter. So when we get that little hit, our body's like, whew, I have a little bit of energy, I feel better, so then it wants more. So then it goes to a snack to get that craving in, to hit that dopamine. And I say, just like our cell phones, sugar can do the same thing. It's that little hit of dopamine making us feel good, making us come back over and over to it. Another thing is insulin sensitivity and insulin resistance. I'm sure you've heard of the words. So when we're eating food, our body turns it into glucose so that we can use it in our cells. Our cells have special little locks on them, and our pancreas produces insulin. Insulin takes the glucose in the blood sugar and goes into the cells, unlocks them, and releases this glucose for energy. When there's insulin resistance, there's too much blood sugar in the bloodstream, and the insulin drives in, gets overwhelmed. The system can't keep up. There's not enough locks for the keys of insulin, right? So it's not working. The body gets overwhelmed. Too much insulin is a drop drastically in blood sugar. When that happens, our body's like, oh my gosh, I need energy quick. So then it's craving this sugar. It's a survival mechanism, but our bodies really don't need this sugar. Our bodies need to utilize our insulin more effectively. So low blood sugar means that you can have intense sugar cravings because the body wants the quick energy. Now, hormonal imbalance is another thing that people don't often think about when they think of sugar cravings, but it's very apparent when someone has low progesterone and estrogen that fluctuates out of balance. You can think about menopause, or right before you get your period, maybe you crave chocolate. It's because the imbalances of hormones can decrease serotonin in the body, and that can drive our body's mechanisms to say, hey, I'm hungry, I'm craving this. Decreased serotonin also decreases mood, it increases fatigue. And then when we have low progesterone, our digestive system doesn't work as efficiently, and that can lead to hunger cravings and then the need for increased sugar. Next is thyroid imbalance. Hypothyroidism, aka low thyroid, craves quick energy. The thyroid needs energy to mobilize, to use its energy efficiently. It needs more and more. And what's a quick energy source? Glucose, sugar. So when we have imbalance in our thyroid, typically hypothyroidism, we're craving these sweets to get our energy up. Cortisol and stress plays a huge role in sugar imbalance. When the body is stressed, it releases cortisol. Cortisol is our fight or flight hormone. Well, just imagine if we're running away from a bear, we need a lot of quick energy. So our body's flooded in with energy. We need more of it. We need it fast. It's going through things fast. So when we have high stress, it means that we need more energy to be able to function. Well, the quick energy is the sugar. And so we typically can crave a lot of sugary foods when we're stressed. This eventually crashes blood sugar. And then again, quick energy, we need more. We need more sugar. We need the cravings. Just a bad cycle. Gut health is a huge one that I talk about with all my patients. So if someone is addicted to sugar, I ask them if they have candida, and we always check their candida albicans, IgA, IgM, IgG labs blood work wise, because I want to see what kind of yeast is in their body. And they can tell me too, are they this type of people that have frequent yeast infections or thrush or other funguses on their toes, jock itch, that kind of thing? Because a yeasty body, it can have you craving sugar because yeast craves sugar. So if there is a gut imbalance, sugar cravings are very common. And then there's the emotional and psychological trigger with sugar cravings. So if you've ever reached for ice cream or your favorite sweet treat at the end of a stressful day, it's a comfort food. It is something that is deeply connected to mood. So again, when we talk about the physiological reasonings, when your stress is high, it's typically because cortisol is high and you're wanting that quick fix. So again, it can be comfort food. It can be just like this. You're getting the dopamine from the phone, you're getting the dopamine from the sugar, and it just is this repeated cycle. So we have to break out of that cycle. So what can we do to stop sugar cravings naturally? 1, balance blood sugar with the right foods. Eat high protein, fiber, and healthy fats with every meal. Like let's say you're even going to have a healthy sugar, like an apple. Put a nut butter on that, something high fat. You want to put fats with your sweets. You want to put protein with your sweets. So making sure that you are helping your blood sugar by giving it the protein and fats that it also needs. I am a big believer in intermittent fasting. So typically for women, like doing the overnight fast, fine. You can do 12 to 14 hours really easily. But for women, we have different hormonal needs. So just like guys can go on a drop of a hat and do a 24-hour fast or a 72-hour fast, we aren't built that way, and nor should we be. We have different needs with our hormones. So I love Dr. Mindy Peltz. She talks about the fasting for girls, and she has the different phases of our cycles and when the best time is to fast. I'm currently on day 1 of my 72-hour fast. I'm about 20 hours in, feeling really good. And I notice with myself, after the 3 days of fasting, I like to do it once every 1 to 4 months, but my inflammatory markers go down. I have a history of Crohn's, so I have typically have had high inflammation, but my inflammation goes down. I feel more energized. I just feel good getting that reset. Manage your stress. As I talked about often, you need to manage your stress. Decreasing stress will decrease cortisol, and that will decrease that psychological need for sugars to keep you going. Heal your gut and starve sugar-loving bacteria. So we really healing your gut, whether it be through testing, getting treated. We have Select Balance yeast relief that has enzymes in that helps break down the yeast, but also sometimes I have to use fluconazole or something else like that heavier for my patients if they have some stubborn cases going on. Oregano can be really good as well. But again, doing this with a practitioner that can help guide you with that is always the best, because otherwise you're just going to get frustrated throwing all those things at it and not maybe getting the best results. So work with someone on getting rid of that bacteria, the yeast. And I always question, well, why is the yeast there to begin with? Typically there's other infections or inflammation or something that it's trying to protect us from, and then it just overgrows. So heavy metals can be one of them as well. So just get tested, see really what's going array in the body. Rewire your sugar habits. So swap sweet treats for dark chocolate. The darker the better. I know it's definitely a learning curve to get in if you're used to like milk chocolate. To get to the 70% or plus, it can take some time, but slowly get yourself going in that right direction. It's healthier that way. Herbal tea is a really good mix for sugar cravings. So when you're feeling the need for sugar, reach for herbal teas. That's what I do with my 72-hour fast. If I'm feeling hungry, I'll drink some tea, especially with peppermint in it. It can help soothe the gut. I love the turmeric, ginger, peppermint, that combo, but it can soothe the gut and it can release sugar cravings. And then wait 10 minutes. If you have one serving of your meal, wait 10 minutes to see if you're actually truly hungry. You know, you've heard that before. And then ask, like, am I truly hungry, or am I doing this for a distraction of something? And if that's the case, then go do something else. Try to find a different habit to form. Dehydration often feels like hunger, so making sure that you drink full glasses of water is really helpful. And then add lemon or electrolytes to your water to make it, spruce it up, to make your brain and your body satisfied. Sugar cravings are not about willpower. When you balance your blood sugar, you check your hormones, and enhance your gut health and healing, the cravings just naturally fade away. And I can attest to that with hundreds of patients that have had sugar cravings that have just really fixed their gut and their hormones and have felt really good without sugar. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, and I will be back soon to go more in depth about hormones and sugar. Until next time, take care.